Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a massive reset in terms of events coming live. If you guys haven't already, I made an event breakdown video in terms of everything that's going to be turning over at Reset today, and link that below interested. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be focused on talking about the newest character in Zombie Scarlet Witch. Today is her day. Her event is going live, in case you guys aren't aware, and this is actually listed under the events. And I do see that there has been some information already on the Marvel Strike website to showcase for us, the points that we're going to be generating, and as well as orb fragments. But it's this Red Dead rematch event here. You can already hit preview, and you can actually get shards of her through the Undying orbs. And as well, there's going to be some actual specific shards as you progress through the event as well. If you have 4 Undying characters at 3 stars, then you're able to actually partake in the bonus, which also gives you an opportunity to earn candy. Now, I don't know how many shards in total it's going to be, but you definitely want to maximize as much orb fragments as you can for this event specifically to unlock her, as this is a limited time event. And with her being classified as an epic character, we won't know really until when the next time that there's going to be another shard offering for her will be. But yeah, as per her epic tag, guys, I don't believe there's actually any power core orbs for her specifically. But in today's video, I also want to talk about her kit. I want to take a look at why she's going to be likely the most powerful member of this Undying team if you guys have built them up. And remember, there are going to be some events going live today and next week that's tied back to Undying. If you have these characters, as you can see, I don't. I'm just not heavily invested into war. But if you have these characters at higher gear tier levels, anywhere from gear tier 17, 18, and 19, or if you have these characters maxed out in star levels, you're going to be getting some nice bonus points actually in the coming weeks here, so you can take advantage of that. But again, I want to take a look at her kit. I want to showcase for you guys why she's such a powerful addition to this team and how they're going to be synergizing with her quite well, especially being part of this newest addition for this war meta team. But as well, they have value in other game modes too. So her basic ability, Necro Bolt. This attack cannot be counterattacked on war offense. It's also unavoidable and cannot be blocked, but just a simple attack right there, applying heal block. As you level this ability up though, I do want to point out that with the T4 upgrade here, she's going to be dealing damage, and if she's not at full energy, she's also going to be applying bleed to the primary target and calling a random attack from Zim or a zombie Jugs to actually attack the primary target too. So this is going to be nice additional damage here, but it's a luxury T4 if you guys have access to it. So I would focus more on the rest of her abilities before this basic, just because that's typically what we've seen with some of these newer character unlocks, especially with their abilities and you're trying to min-max your T4 resources. Her special is called Wretched Reality. So she's going to be attacking the primary target for percentage damage in addition to disruption and bleed. And she actually does apply all enemies in the outtake here, but this disruption and bleed does only apply to the primary until we actually do some certain upgrades. So on war offense, you see immunity is going to get applied to herself and Undying, and also similar to basic, can't be counterattacked, and it's unavoidable and cannot be blocked, especially when used on war. This ability gains additional damage against folks that have the bleed damage already inflicted on them, so additional uptick there. She applies more bleeds up to a maximum 5 times as you level this up. Safeguard is also going to get added into this ability with additional bleed and disruption to the primary target. And lastly, if you are going to T4 this, the immunity lasts for 2 full turns with an additional uptick in damage. So even at level 6, there's a lot of good things to be said with this ability already, especially the safeguard component, the disruption, the bleeds. So this is just icing on the cake, having that immunity for 2 full turns to give your fellow Undying team actually immunity. And yeah, it's a good ability, especially for that synergy and making sure that they don't get impacted by debuffs. Chaos Unleash, ultimate ability, clearing all barrier on all enemies, attacking enemies for piercing damage as well, ignores defense up, and once again, unavoidable and can be blocked in war. You can see this ability also has a flip mechanic, so positive effects on the enemies are actually going to be flipping into negatives, additional piercing damage, prolonging of negative durations by 1, and I like the fact that this is going to be random, so you don't really know what you're getting from this, but it seems like it applies on everything, including, trauma, including stun. So in this case, a lot of things, I don't think they're excluded here. Yeah, so it's a pretty crazy ultimate. You flip more as you increase this up. The piercing also gets increased at level 6, and then lastly, all positive effects are actually flipped, and all negative effects are going to be prolonged. So this is obviously the most strongest upgrade here. You definitely want to focus on this one first before the special and the basic, because of the fact that it's going to basically do everything with this ultimate ability. So this is what's going to completely cripple a team, especially if they already have a lot of debuffs, or if they have a lot of buffs that can be flipped. Including, I don't know, to be honest, like the safeguarding obviously will protect the team, but if there's a way that you can actually diminish safeguard, then this is a very, very powerful ability, right? Last but not least, the passive here, Power of the Dam. So this ability here, characters killed by Scarlet, which zombie can't be revived. That's a big mechanic right there. On any turn, if they don't have exhaust, she's gonna be flipping bleeds and as well as undying allies. So obviously that exhaust mechanic is very important in war, especially when you're following up in another attack. And then on turn, if ally zombie Jugs, as well as is not currently an ally, she actually summons a zombie Jugs, and that's the biggest value of that. There's also going to be a taunt that applies to zombie Juggernaut, so this can only trigger once per match, but it's notable that it applies also outside of war. So on war offense, summon Juggernaut also gains additional charges. So, and it only gets better from there, right? This character is greater than or equal to 50% HP. All undying allies, including herself, can gain trauma. Massive, right? Barrier on spawn, especially the additional not able to fill up the speed bar on herself or allies was massive once again, and it's only if her health is greater than 50% HP. And then lastly, on any turn, flip all bleeds on herself and undying. So bleeds are basically, you know, immune to her, right? It's absolutely amazing. And then you can even see the summon here with the Jugs being available. So obviously her ultimate, her passive make the most sense for T4 upgrades right away. Just because of the way that it functions. But I just love the fact that this kit exists even outside of war. So that's why I'm saying, like, anytime that you want to bring up this team now, having the Scarlet Witch as that fourth piece combined with the rest of the Undying, and she can summon zombie Jugs if he's not on the team, pretty massive. This is becoming more of a common mechanic in the game, especially more recently with the rework to Doctor Strange now also being able to summon Wong. Love the value add for sure. So ultimate passive makes sense. Special and basic, definitely focus on that after you have the T4 luxuries. And guys, I just want to talk real quickly here also about her ISO-8, because there's a lot of things that she can do, right? She is mass AoE. If you want to put her as a striker, to be honest, you're not going to be getting too much out of it with the striker additional strike, just because her basic only has the heal block, and as well she does apply bleed to the primary target. So if you want to stack that up more, for sure, and then calling on the random attacks. But I think because many of her abilities are already AoE based, I think utilizing her as a raider is going to maximize the output, especially since many of her attacks are unavoidable and can't be dodged. She's going to be constantly hitting everyone, that she can just apply a stack of vulnerables across the enemies, which increases the damage she'll take as well. Right? So I definitely can't see anything going wrong with a raider or striker. That's probably what I'm going to be using her as if I unlock her. And as well, make sure you guys take advantage of orb fragments. Lastly, the one caveat I want to point out is that her unique is the arcane magic, very similar to what Mephisto, Black Knight, Agatha Harkness all use. So it's important to note, because obviously having another character that shares all that is going to be very notable, and you may want to consider that in your investment, especially if you're planning to bring up Scarlet Witch Zombie. So there you guys have it. Full breakdown of her kit. Strong addition to the Undying team. This is going to absolutely shape the meta of war for sure, especially giving her a notable addition, and as well the damage outtake. So it's going to be really you know, interesting to see how she shakes things up in the war meta, and especially how generous or not generous this event will be. I'll keep you guys up to date. But in the meantime, good luck with your guys' orbs. Hopefully you can get some shards of her, and don't forget, it does go live today. So thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.